that they was asking them for. So then again, just like the leader, Kamala Prasad Bisesta, he's following suit. He's lying to the public. That is what Central is doing. Their party is based on lies, mistruths, and deception. And all that is why they invented Cambridge Analytica to try to fool the people. But people smarter than, In 2010 now, we in 2021, we are much smarter. We know what the UNCs and them are all about. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Hello, good morning. Hello. Right. And you are correct, caller. Apparently, there's only difference between a management letter and an auditor general's report. Let's see. Hello, good morning. Central.
In the 2020 general election, the punchline for the PNM was we are #1 in the world, and Dr. Rowley is a transformational leader, and whatever and whatever. If that was the case, and the PNM and Dr. Rowley was saving all these lives during the pandemic, how come the PNM lost an extra seat to the UNC? What caused that? The PNM should have gained more seats, especially in the marginal constituencies. They should have gained more seats instead of 23. They could have about 29 that Kamala had in the 2015, 2010, 2015. So lots of seats and they were #1 in the world and they were doing so well. Tell me about that now.
So what seat did the PNM lost? The Noruga Tableland seat? Is it that PNM people were disgruntled with the fact that they weren't happy with the candidate, choice of candidate? Was that the case, Central? Yeah, you can see that's what PNM people do, unfortunately. When they vex, they stay away from the polls. UNC people don't do that. All you could be how vexed with Kamala, she could do all what the hell. She could put, all you like to say, if you put a crapo in a balize tie in certain constituencies, the PNM will vote for them. But you see, that is how it operates in UNC constituencies. All you will vex and grumble and cuss. No like garage when you drink it. Well, anyway, let me don't go there. But all you will still vote for the same people. You know why? Because your hatred for the PNM is greater than your discontent in the UNC. So UNC people wouldn't do that. PNM people, unfortunately, like to do that when they vex. The same thing happened in 2010. In Arima, they disapproved of the candidate that Mr. Manning put. They wanted Penny, Mr. Manning put somebody else, and they get vexed and they say, "Oh, what we gonna show you? We ain't voting for you." That's what happens. PNM people do that. But you can't move UNC people. Could be what? You all got a candidate in Couva North, but allegations of corruption, allegations of what you call it, human trafficking, allegations of prostitution. All of these allegations, and you all still went and put him in the parliament. You all had another one, fired from TSTT, fired from TNTech for misbehavior, corruption. That was known before the election. Now they still went and voted. You had another one who couldn't explain $135,000 that he gave to the Prime Minister. You give the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago $135,000 and don't know why you give it, what that money was for? Really? Central, if you give a man $500 10 years ago, you could remember what it is you give him for. But $135,000 for the Prime Minister and you can't remember? Really? And then he come and tell us a story when they present a whole set of checks to him for monies that he got. Well, you see, it was my birthday, and yeah, and you have generous friends and family, but yet still anyway. And all still vote for that. But if that had happened in the PNM camp, you would have heard earlier. Don't work so. PNM people are held, unfortunately, sometimes to a higher standard. That's what happens. If they're displeased, they stay away from the polls. Let's see here. Hello, good morning. Yes, sir.
Morning, Sharon, royalists and callers, all on the live. Happy first anniversary to the PNM on Victory Day, 10th of August. I hope that everyone will enjoy it. You raised a salient point this morning, hatred. Iwer version. They how
Yes.
it's going on here right now. And according to you, that's what the PNM is do to show the PNM. This is how we won, and they following giving weight. No problem in letting somebody else take the reign.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take the reign now. We are still from up here. And the administration, in this Kamala administration, we had 365 days of corruption. Every day something new. This is what we have when we have other government and the PNM. They hear the PNM so much that they don't like development. Everything that the PNM call him to do, they will oppose it. And up to now, this one is we're taking the item and the cake on government. 14 years now, people are paying property tax in Trinidad and Tobago. Check that one out. Trinidad
And Tobago Revenue Authority, it needs opposition support, and they say they ain't supporting it. Why they ain't supporting it? To pay a property tax? Well, according to what we all know, it's something they're hiding, that they don't want to pay the property tax. But everybody laughing and giggling, the millionaire laughing and giggling, the man who have a $5 million property, laughing and giggling right now. It's 14 years now, he ain't pay a cent to no Dominic. 14 years, you know.
And considering this out, what we do, guilty by association, you correct the money. And people in Tobago love man who does abuse a man, who will kick and cuff and beat them out of the house and still come and say, I love you. That's what people in Tobago love. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I'll throw out a question to Central. They say, since the PNM was #1 and they was doing so good, how come they didn't win more seats? Iwer. Since they were so bad, as you all were telling us, the worst government ever to pass through this country, how come they didn't lose more? You all were expecting a landslide. We were supposed to go back to a 12-seater maxi. That didn't happen. Why? And they were the worst government. They destroyed the Tobago Sea Bridge, they destroyed the economy. Over 100,000, 200,000, almost 500,000 people lost their work, depending on who talking in the UNC. And they shut down Petrotrin and they sent on people, and people kill themselves who commit suicide. All that all they tell us. And you all still couldn't win that election, boy? Nah, man. Nah, man, such. Hello, good morning. Hey, Andrew. Yes. Thank you, Andrew. Hello, morning. Yes, sir.
I just want about the banker boy. Kamala will not in large general election, but lose the election. Kamala will start the sector as the record in the Commonwealth of losing the most amount of elections one leader, political leader has ever lost. Although they campaign, they didn't use corruption, they campaign based on wicked governments, and Dr. Rowley closed down such a thing, and normal people lost jobs and locked the border and one open border and people suffering, and we want people to come back in, and that is how they campaign, you know. That is what they sell to these people. And still what? Something wrong with the UNC and Kamala Total and Chikoni. Because them for example don't think. If they could go through all of that and still look. And let me go back to what happened in 1919 when Robbie took over. Remember what happened then? The people were just upset because cola was cut, this was cut, and then thing was cut. Basically around the same thing was happening. Dr. Rowley had us to make it cuts. And they knew because they were expecting that, and that's the reason why they tried as much as empty the treasury. But I like to hear them when they talk about the PNM, that nothing for Trinidad and Tobago and the younger party. The system that the PNM put down started with Dr. Eric Williams that earlier. We have a system there that they can make money. And this is what Dr. Rowley did. He cut the corruption, he started to cut out all the money losing things. He went internationally to the oil giants and to get taxes from them. All these things came back to you. You just realigned the system that was built under the PNM forefathers and them that Kamala inherited. And when there is much to buy a helicopter for she to use out of taxpayers' money. And that's the reason why she could take his bankrupt friend and make him back a multi-billionaire. He can leave Trinidad and go and hide in a next man's country with we money. These are some of the questions that the UNC has to answer to the people of them. But until Kamala put out the sector and she told me, and then the court for all these things that she did to this country, the UNC will never see government in this country again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Hello, good morning. Morning. All is well.
Today, since my Prime Minister was elected back into government, you understand me, all the time to Dominic, down there in the Martin West, busy. You understand me, have to make sure that things run smooth.
Yes.
The Prime Minister elected again for the people of Trinidad and Tobago and to represent us, the people of the Martin West. Dominic, I want to say to my Prime Minister and his cabinet colleague, you all continue to do best. Continue to do the best for the people of Trinidad and Tobago, human service and Simon Dominic. We will go forward, Dominic. We not on, on the UNC, what they say, we not on about that. You understand me? We about productivity for the people of Trinidad and Tobago, Dominic. At this trying time now, Dominic, that we face here right now, Dominic. We want to wish this, my Prime Minister and his cabinet colleague, get all the best, Dominic. Dominic, how things with you?
All is well, all is well.
I was touched when I saw this young man, this is the boy, 8-year-old in Jamaica, was shot on the playfield. You know about that on the papers, right?
No, I didn't see that one.
Yes, a Friday. They were playing football and some kind, whatever, but this 8-year-old was shot, he was shot there. That was just kind of touching, Dominic. And I also noticed through all of the Caribbean countries, Grenada had a march, you notice that?
Yeah.
Well, Dominic, I miss it, but I couldn't have gone anyway. Dominic, I don't know, but all these places I've been to, I always enjoy it. You understand? I always enjoy it, Dominic. But all I can say to the people is, Dominic, you continue to do what you're doing, my dear. You understand? And it's essential and there, but Dominica don't even study Central and because do you realize what they are? Nothing that the People's National Movement do for the people trying to Tobago, we being recognized. They try to always sink us down, Dominic. It's only the UNC, but I don't know when Dominica can ask a question.
Sure.
I'm leader in Trinidad and Tobago. May I ask you?
It seems so because I saw a clip from their Monday night forum last night, and interestingly she was sitting down last night. So I don't know if it is two canopies fall on her foot again. But
Dominic, I don't know.
You too. Yeah, so I see the opposition leader was sitting down last night for her presentation. Normally she's on her feet and tries to be on fire. But I don't know, as I said, I don't know if it's maybe two cans of peas fall on her big toe again. And that's why she had to sit down. I just asking questions, I'm not sure, I don't know. I'm just telling you what I saw. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Dominic.
Morning.
Dominic, I'm saying that just two PNM people don't want.
Yes.
They didn't want the kid, now they didn't want the woman in arena. Like, no, the kid just get them too. We didn't want she. Like the lady in arena, we didn't want her, and we did not want the scenery. And that's how we fall in and get the two PNM people. Like that. But them is people, whether they want the person or not, they will vote for the people. And it's time we start to do that too. Instead of put somebody else we don't want, we have to still vote for them. And that's how we get the two PNM people when they get free with that. Okay, Dominic?
Yes.
Yes, and here is your check me later. Check me out when you think later, right?
Yes.
Okay, Dominic. God bless you.
All right. Yeah, interesting. I wonder what excuse they're going to come up with as to why Mrs. Bazabi Sessa was sitting. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Oh, Lord. Central.
The opposition leader sitting, but I think sitting is still legal in this country. Why Dr. Robbie don't wear a mask when he has his media conference, which is illegal as far as the public health ordinance is concerned?
Kamala was wearing a mask last night.
Now, why Dr. Rowley is not wearing his mask at the media conference? Tell me that.
Why Kamala was not wearing a mask last night? Why Kamala was not wearing a mask last night, Central? Tell me that now. You see, anything that you come with, we could rebut. If it is that you as a leader want to present yourself as being strong, why is sitting down? You must know the impression that people will get of that, because they're accustomed to seeing you standing up. Right? If Dr. Rowley come with a scarf around his neck and he talking, all he want to make all kind of allegation that he's sick with this and sick with that. Not so, Central. That's all he was saying, that he had this throat cancer and all kind of nonsense. I just asked the question, you know. She was normally stand. The other members, other persons who spoke last night were standing. She was not. Is there something wrong with your leader? That's all. No need to get offensive, just tell us. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Dominic.
Morning, sir.
Morning, sir. Sorry, my big one. It's the thing about I've always link them, or connect them to how the supporters of Donald Trump, and those people are, that, you know, they don't think at all. They just come on the radio and they have a narrative, and they push up a narrative and keep it distraction. But those who don't really have common sense, and that's our thing. Now, yesterday, I know Jenny would have made a contribution to what's new, and I'm glad this morning, Dominic, you went in detail, because what's new must be linked to that level, that person who is not fit for leadership in the corporate environment, or in fact any political environment. And you see, people make opportunists. People are opportunists. People give them leeway because of simple things that they ignore. And one of the big things that is being ignored today, Dominic, is the moral and spiritual aspect of politics. Kamala made it a mantra of more having the legal aspect of everything, and push the whole moral fabric of the politics aside, putting it there where you're going in an area, and what you can develop in the same approach. You go in an area, you capture the young people, and you let them eat a food. And when food finished for today, they have food for 4 and 5 years for the period of time they elected. And I want to warn young people, especially young African people, stop giving up your birthright. Don't take what's Duke's way of governance. Similar to that of Kamala Prasad. Go in an area, she could get somebody to capture young people who believe that PLM is doing anything for, notwithstanding all the policies and areas of development out there that you could influence to make yourself marketable and develop yourself into somebody good, instead of just staying on the block and watching you pass. They got 4 or 5 years of the KHA to him. They need to stop that. And while I'm wanting to tell PNM that there's a lot of work to do to capture the young people and change that mindset, you know, it's still a foolish thing where people don't understand heritage. How much the senior people don't understand, no matter how things go, that, you know, I would put my leader there. How we would take it for $300 and $400. And then it's no offense. Well, yesterday when I was talking about the whole question of the PSA and the problems associated with what's Duke's autocratic way of doing things, I meant in the context of the PSA. If a man could, you know, hijack a union for so much years, and other unions not even given an idea of, listen, how to advise those committee members and those branch members to deal with what's new, then it's cohesion in confusion. And that's what I'm talking about. But what's new as a leader in relation to wanting to run the KHA, I am glad those issues are being highlighted big time, and we can know going forward for Tobago, like of my field, as you going to say, if you lose the key of your brain, to put what you can gain to run your country, to run your THA, according to the guys in business, you know. That is it, because the police seen all the evidence there that I'll give you $100 and $200 during the campaign to take 5 million and 2 million to do nonsense. Well, go right ahead. Go right ahead. Because what I know, Dominic, or how I learn things, is that listen, you have to cater not only for fish, but you have to cater for a fishing rod, and you have to know where the pond or the river is. That's how I want African people, even in Tobago, but let's start thinking that way. Thank you very much, brother. Good contribution this morning. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, good morning. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, noticed on the news last night they found the body is up in Grandy up there, Dominique, help me?
Yes, I think in Vega they were a pooch or something.
Right, I think they found that body up there. But Dominique, I think I asked you for the longest while, what is taking place in Grandy Regional Corporation?
Yes.
Yes, because as I was told, police like lantipedes every week up there. And here when they come with so here Gary Griffith good morning to you, sir. Understand you know up there, yes, up ranking police officers up there. Dominique, I don't know why they're being up there, you understand that they want to work in the corporation. But I also heard too that when they come there and they go and they come back, they have to wash out a lot of mud in the street. I don't know if they're going in the forest or whatever, Dominique, I don't know.
Yeah.
Question, you understand me? I just want to see the outcome of this, Dominique. Why the business in the corporation to upstream? You understand me?
Yes. Very interesting. You too. Right, and I also see that the UNC would have launched their online newspaper called the Checklist. Yes. So as if the social media as is wasn't sufficient for them to spread their lies, their propaganda and their untruths, they've now launched a newspaper called the Checklist. You all remember the newspaper between 2010 and 2015 called The Voice? That started off at $2 and nobody was buying it because it was just a UNC propaganda paper, and then all of a sudden they started to give it out. You go to all these groceries and you see there's stacks and stacks of it, and people were wondering where the money came from to pay for that. Remember the program Voices, your government working for you? 50 million of the best taxpayers' dollars pay for that. I wonder how much of that went to Voice, the Voice newspaper. Hello, good morning. Morning, sir. Thank you.
Central called. He asks you a question. When he finishes, you said, "Can I ask you a question?" He always puts down the phone. So I call you to tell you, whenever he calls, don't allow him to ask a question. You ask the question first.
Yes. Thank you. I wonder what that newspaper is that on. Anyway, I'm not even gonna engage that. I might look at it once just to prove a point that the content is going to be propaganda, lies, misinformation, disinformation. No, just like we discussed off of do liar politics. Probably just an extension of that. Hello, good morning. Hello.
And look on the right-hand side, you see a place that you're from wire. That's the government is when they were power. $10 million past year. They plant some grass, put some time on the ground, plant up that, and bucket from with wire. 10 million. They study that, instead of studying all with water. So it's free.
Thank you, Jabba. Hello, good morning. Alright, we lost that one. Hello, good morning. Morning, mother. I am good, and yourself? Nama.
I'm COVID here. People must be still scared and I don't have COVID here.
Yes.
They see the funeral, the door was open and everybody could have seen tall and some dark black on blood. This is just COVID, you have to be closed up.
Yeah, yes.
Who's saying that voice good morning, all carried all over the place because we're looking for me. But somebody, that kid they call sexual, is it a man or a woman?
It sounds like a male.
Sure. I don't think that's a man. Because he has no particular fortitude. He's a big girl. He hiding. But sexual behavior stuff as be a man. Be a man. Get some cool, that's what they call it. You only call it a jumping over this and oh call it here, come out here over this. Come out.
Yeah.
God is still the tongue. That's why I was saying so much. I don't want the business station is to distribute. But you, we have to do, we know who you are right now. Get manhood. Get some manhood and sensitive like that. You fail about it. That's why you have to start with the man. You're running like a little girl. You're a little girlfriend. And I was sexual. And I want a girlfriend like you. So understand behavior yourself, be a man. M-A-N. That's G-I-R-L man. I telling you that the story. Whenever they pay your body, they are going to stupid because you're fighting to them. You make yourself a girl and a big one too. Go and let them cook. Go and let them sew. It's nothing but